Man, oh man, when I saw this article last night, I said to myself, I might want to make a video on this today. Because I feel like I need to say some things before I get into this article. Bro, the trans community are continuously going around lying to people about them being 100% women. But if you're dating a straight guy, he's gonna find out whether you're a man or a female if y'all were to have sex. And he's gonna notice a big red flag about your Adam's apple, your dimples on your face, or your voice. If you let the real you come out, just know he's gonna end up leaving you for 100% female. Because listen, let me tell y'all something. If you're not honest with that partner, he's gonna leave you regardless. Some choose to stay and some choose to leave. But for what this dude did right here, he actually made the wise decision of leaving the transgender. You cannot tell me if, ands, or buts. You can't convince me to stay with that person just because they're transgender. No, I'm believing that person because that person lied to me, lied in front of my face when I found out that she was born a man. So this really goes to show you that you need to be careful of who you dating, of who you with, because you don't know what that person looks like on the inside or the outside. Just because they look good on their profile doesn't mean that they're the person that they are. So let's get to the article. A young Australian man in 2019 called into a radio station to talk about how he recently broke up with his girlfriend of 9 months because he found out that she was born a man. This brings up the debate of the thin line between transphobia and preference. Look, I think there is a thin line between transphobia, or being transphobic, and having a preference. Because to me, I have a preference. My preference is dating women. That's always been my thing. Even though I don't have a girlfriend right now, but when I do find me one, she's gonna be very special to me. That's all I gotta say. That's my preference. I like. It don't matter what color they are. That's always been my number one preference is women. Now, you know there's going to be some trans people calling me a transphobic because I wouldn't try to date a man. First of all, I'm not gay. God didn't make me out to be that way. First of all. Now, if you are dating a transgender, you better hope that there's going to be some questionable situations in terms of dating that person. Because let's say if you're going to a casino or a club or a store, right, and you happen to see this good-looking chick, and if you see something that is completely off, do not go to that person. Don't approach them. Especially how they butts be looking. Yeah, I said it. The butts. I'm allowed to say that. Because you gotta pay it. Listen, you need to. Okay, you know what? Let me just say this. You need to pay fully attention to the details. If that person don't look like how they say, then don't approach them. Because if something is off with their bodies, that's how you know they're transgender, that they're still a man inside. So for me, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not ever going to approach them. I'm just going to go on about my business and just focus on myself. So you got to be careful of who you talk to nowadays. Because these transgender people, they will fool you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but it's just ways that they got people, people's minds confused and stuff. Let's continue. He found some she's trans. Okay, this is where it gets crazy. In July of 2019, 20-year-old Alex from Sydney, Australia, called into a radio station to talk about his recent breakup. He was the one who called it off, he says, because his 25-year-old girlfriend was lying to him. No, she wasn't cheating on him. She didn't disclose to him that she was born a male. The pair have been intimate for 9 months on their relationship, and Alex hadn't suspected a thing. By all accounts, the relationship was going very well. Then one night, he found out with a mutual friend of he and his girlfriend. After leaving the bar, Alex went back to his friend's place, who was a bit drunk. That's when his friend apparently could not hold the secret information any longer. Oh, that's rough right there, bro. You go to your friend's place, and when they drank, they said some stupid things, but when the truth comes out, that's when things get really ugly. To the transgender person, I feel like he was wrong for lying to that man, because here you have him thinking that you're this perfect 100% female, but then all of a sudden you get exposed, and then he leaves you because of a lie. Well, he had a reason to do that because, number one, you lied to his face. 9 months into the relationship, their relationships have been going very well, but all of a sudden you find out some dark things about them, and then they'll automatically turn around and leave you because of a lie you told. Basically, you lied about him being transgender because, number one, you were born a man. You were not born 100% female. I just don't understand about the trans community. Like, how you gonna go into a relationship with a guy without him knowing that you're a man? Like, seriously, like, is this what we're doing nowadays? Going into a serious relationship, and then all of a sudden you have the verge of keeping that a secret and don't expect anything to go bad? Well, I hate to break it to you though, but what exactly did you expect? You knew you was wrong for lying to him and stuff. And I'm assuming that he was going to propose to her and stuff. That he was going to get married. That's basically what I'm getting from this part right here about him calling their relationship off, their engagement off. Maybe he was going to get married, but still, it's just so disrespectful how you're going to lie to a man like that. Like, come on, man. Look, the trans community, man, y'all need to stop. Seriously. Let's continue. This is what he had to say. Look, Alex, he said, now I've been hiding something from you, and so is your girlfriend. I think you need to know because I think it's wrong, and I can't leave you thinking that this is a great, honest relationship. So this is what I believe this is a transgender saying this, because this sounds like what a transgender would say, that there's something that you need to know. So I'm glad that he was upfront about it, letting him know what's up. But I felt like you could have told him from the beginning, instead of you waiting 9 long months to finally reveal the truth. The friend then explained to Alex that his girlfriend had undergone a sex change when she was 18, but that she was actually born a male. Alex was understandably quite shocked by the news. I mean, for me, I would have been upset, hurt, disrespected. I would have probably punched him in the mouth. Because number one, you got me thinking that you were a straight person. Then come to find out that you know, I mean, I can't even get it out. But I would have probably had a different reaction to having somebody tell me that you were born a man, when you could have told me from the beginning, from the get-go. I would have probably had a different reaction. Angry just went Jerry Springer on him. Because number one, you're still a man and I can easily punch you because you're a transgender. So I do have that right to get upset. Because number one, you completely played me for 9 months. And that's completely disrespectful in any cause, in any shape or format. So I just realized something, that this is not the transgender saying this part. It's the friend that was telling Alex about this transgender. Let's continue. When I found out, honestly, I dropped. I didn't believe him at first. I was mixed on it. Then I still didn't believe him, Alex recalled. So when I confronted her, I actually found her pills. I found her, okay, I don't know what that says. Found her tablets. I just dropped. I felt cold. I felt angry. There was many emotions in one go. So this is basically Alex saying this. And I feel for him. I feel like he made the right decision of leaving that person. He found the pills, he found a tablet. And that's how you know that he found evidence that he needed to find. Because number one, the trans community are being really disrespectful in any shape or format. Because number one, like, you can't be going around lying to people about your sex change. Like, if you're born a man, just say it. Tell them in the beginning. Don't wait until 9 months to reveal the truth just because someone exposed you. So I can't even get it out. I highly doubt they're going to end up getting back together. But I hope they don't. Because at some point, you got to just be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with people, then it's obvious to me that you're not honest with yourself completely. Now let's explain on a radio host that he was quite in love with his now ex-girlfriend and never would have picked her out to be a transgender. He described her as 7.5. He also said that being intimate with her didn't feel any different. Nonetheless, he felt as though he had been rather deceived. Oh, man. I think that'll do it right there. The loss of trust and the loss of dishonesty. Especially if you're dating a person who is not 100% that person. You know, and even though he gave her a solid 7.5, and I hope they didn't have sex, because that would be a red flag if you're thinking about getting on with a transgender without you knowing that they're not 100% the person that they are. I mean, the person that they are. Man, I feel for this guy. You know, I'm glad that he called it off. He felt disrespected. He felt embarrassed of the fact that his girlfriend is a man. When you're in a relationship, you think you could have trust. And at the start of the relationship, she should have been upfront and told me, he said. It makes me feel sick. I'm still heartbroken. I feel deceived. I think that's a big lie for me. Just sort of a fake who you were, and not to say that in the beginning. Wasn't I just saying a few minutes ago about being in a relationship, you should be honest and be upfront, instead of you just like going in acting like nothing has happened. But once you find out the truth, then it's obvious to me that you made yourself look bad, honestly. And I'm glad that he said this, because in relationships, people do go into these things and think that everything is supposed to be perfect. But in reality, it's not. You see multiple breakup on movies, TV shows, and on social media. But social media is like the worst place to go at, because when you look at TikTok, you see people getting exposed for cheating, having sex with family members, cousins, friends, brother and sister, mom, dad, uncle, grandmas. Like, it's just cheaters everywhere, and not everybody is gonna end up being perfect. But I think what this transgender did, he messed up completely. I just don't understand the trans community, seriously. What did you think was gonna happen? Do you expect us to accept who you are and accept the fact that you're just a transsexual, a transgender? Well, you can't even be honest about who you are as a person. Why do you think the guy left you because of that? And Alex did the right thing. Let's continue. He had even met her family on a few occasions. Sobbing, she told her family that he already knew what he didn't. It wasn't just her that it wasn't just her that he felt deceived by, but everyone involved in their relationship. He was angry at his friend too, who also, oh, wow, okay. So not only that he was angry with the transgender, but he was also angry at his friend for keeping a secret. He could have just told him. That's not what best friends do. If they see something wrong, let them know. Let them know what's up. But instead, they just turn around and just keep it as one big secret. Now, you know that's a big red flag and a big FU to your best friend who has been lying to for 9 months. Like, how can people live with themselves, honestly? I think the person that really needs to answer to is God himself. Because you really do need Jesus in your life, first of all. You going around playing games like this, I think you need to be honest with God, period. That's what I feel. For real, for real. Let's continue. So Alex then continued, I feel like she must have been scared to tell me or see my reaction. He said, at the time that he called the radio station, it had been 3 weeks since the breakup. He still had not spoken to either his friend or his ex-girlfriend since. And you know what? I think you're better off just being by yourself. I think you got your own life to worry about. I think you got your own situation to take care of, man. Your mental health is more important. And just try to make yourself better before you decide to get back into the dating market. Because the last thing you want to do is be hurt or lied to ever again. Because what happened in the past shall not return. And especially to the transgender person and his best friend keeping a secret, what stays in the dark always comes to light. And what came to light was the fact that he found out that she was a transgender, that she was a man, and he broke it up. So I kind of feel bad for him, and I hope that he finds somebody who appreciates him, who understands him, and can just adore him, you know, admire him, just love him for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, you know what, I'm hoping that is 100% female, not a trans person. I'm just saying. Let's continue. So let this be a lesson to the fellas out there that are watching this. To the couples out there. Be honest with your person. No. Be honest with that person. Because if they find out some stuff, tell the truth. Be honest. And if you decide to work it out, fine. But if you decide to leave, I wish you nothing but the best in the world. But as for the trans community, y'all need to be honest with God. Because number one, you cannot keep on playing this game of thinking that since you're going into a relationship, and you don't expect that person to find out who you really are, they're gonna know what's up. And to the fellas out there, be careful who you date. Because there's gonna be tons of people that are not 100% honest with you. So, hopefully y'all enjoy this video, and if you understand my take on the situation, and I hope that you somehow learn from this story. If so, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next content.